Before we get into today's episode, let me ask you something. Do you know what your current level of English really is? Understanding your level is crucial to tracking your progress and ensuring your hard work is paying off. That's why I've created a quick and easy English level test that you can take right now for free. Find out your level instantly. Just head to thebritishenglishpodcast.com/testme or check the link in the show notes. Hello and welcome to another episode of the British English Podcast. Today, we are going to be focusing on the pop culture around brands and their slogan. And I have with me my very good friend Harry on the other side of the computer/microphone. How are you doing, Harry?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah. Different computer. We should add. Yeah, we're not sat across one computer.
No.
We're not huddled around one microphone either. We got one.
Yeah, we've got one each.
Got one each.
Not sharing.
Yeah.
Sharing's caring.
But that's fine if people do. Yeah, it is caring.
Is that a brand slogan? Sharing is caring?
Sharing is caring. Someone must have used that. It would be mental if no one has used that.
Who coined the phrase sharing is caring? I'll come to that in a bit. But yeah, we're going to catch up for a little bit, but we will be focusing on slogans that have hopefully made it into the everyday conversation. Because on this podcast, we're focusing on more than just the language, but also the culture. And this is a perfect blend of the two because we're sharing a pop culture that has then created for some phrases that we use in everyday kind of references, don't we?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
You shared one with me that gave us the idea of this. Can you share that with us now?
Is that the one about does exactly what it says on the tin?
No, it's not, but that's a good one. It's the one that you would go to the pharmacy for, and it's a thing that you'd have on your skin, probably your foot.
Yeah. Bazooka that Veruca.
Bazooka that Veruca. What's a bazooka? Before you begin, I'd like to let you know that we now have an official app released for the British English Podcast. You can now listen to this podcast on the new app and get all of the learning resources along with it. And for those of you who are just listening on your favourite podcast app, then I've got a present for you. Download the app, sign up to the course called Free Podcast Worksheets, and you will find every single episode available for you to listen to along with the free worksheet for that episode. A huge resource right there waiting for you to enjoy. So go download it right now at your app store, either by typing in BEP, or the British English Podcast. Links are also in the show notes. Enjoy this episode.
A bazooka, that's like, what was it, RPG kind of thing? Is that a rocket launcher?
A rocket launcher.
A rocket launcher, yeah, bazooka.
Yeah.
If you want to kill lots of people with one shot, two birds with one stone, or one giant missile, then use a bazooka. There'll be military experts sitting there thinking, you moron. You've absolutely butchered that definition. But yes.
Well, still though.
It launches one. What does RPG stand for? Because that's probably the clue, right?
Rocket-propelled grenade.
Rocket-propelled grenade. There you go. So it throws massive grenades quite far into wherever you want it to. No one's ever spoken about bazookas with such a happy, cheery tone of voice.
Yeah, well, you've kind of stepped on a cultural thing there, because I'd say, correct me if I'm wrong, but we quite like an advert or a slogan that has a bit of cheekiness to it. It's playing with the word. Yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So a Veruca, I can imagine you'd give a very good definition of Veruca as you're sat there in front of ChatGPT.
I am going with the NHS right now.
Oh, you're going with the NHS? Wow, you're bypassing the Cambridge English Learners Dictionary and you're going straight for the NHS. Clinical. We're going clinical.
Clinical, baby. It's a national health service, so I feel like I should be using it, given that I'm in the UK now.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting well, I shouldn't say that, because we all have them maybe from time to time throughout life, especially as kids. I think it's a bit more common. Did you ever have one?
No one has ever had a verruca as an adult. Surely
No,
not.
they have. We're upsetting those that have one right now.
Yeah.
It's a small lump. Well, you need to bazooka that verruca. It's a small lump on the skin that most people have at some point in their life, it says. They usually go away on their own, but take months or even years. Yeah, it looks a bit like a fungus, I'd say.
Would you like to hear the Cambridge Dictionary's definition of it?
Yes.
It's slightly briefer. It doesn't talk about how frequent they may be in your life.
Right.
It leaves that bit to the NHS because, quite frankly, Cambridge isn't qualified to give these statements. A verruca, a small, hard, infectious growth on the skin, usually on the bottom of the foot.
Okay. I quite like that one. It's quite graphic.
I like it. Yeah. So if you do have a verruca, guys, and you find yourself in the UK and you think, I want to get rid of this small, hard, infectious growth on my skin, usually on the bottom of the foot, then you want to get yourself down your local pharmacy and get bazooka, which has a different spelling to the RPG, the weapon. It's Bazuka, whereas the bazooka and RPG, if you want to buy one of them, it's Bazooka. So bazooka that verruca. And so it's basically saying, get rid of that verruca. Throw a grenade at it, basically. Obliterate it.
Yes, exactly. But I'm now imagining them getting a little bit confused and going into a different store, coming out with an actual bazooka and finding Veronica, maybe? Shooting Veronica in the face.
Oh, no.
A Veronica, not just the one.
Well, I was just imagining them launching a grenade at their own foot.
Okay. Oh, yes.
A series of English learners just losing their feet as a result of listening to this episode.
Amputees, yes.
Yeah. Well, they did the job themselves.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't have the wart any longer, or verruca.
No, that's true. That is one benefit of blowing your own foot off. Yeah.
Have you ever wondered if you're making real progress in your English learning journey? Knowing your level is the key to recognizing your improvements. I have a fantastic tool for you, a free English level test that gives you an instant result. Take a few minutes now to discover your level and continue your learning journey with confidence. Visit thebritishenglishpodcast.com/testme or click the link in the show notes to find out your level of English today. But we skip past the catch-ups. Harry, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Very well, yeah.
What's been going on?
I had a tennis-filled weekend, really.
Oh.
I basically just watched tennis, and in proper Wimbledon style, I got a punnet of Sainsbury's Taste the Difference strawberries.
There you go. There's another slogan.
Taste the Difference?
Yeah.
Well, that's the name of the range, isn't it? It's not quite their slogan. But it's almost like a slogan.
It's a sub-slogan.
It's a sub-slogan, sure. So Taste the Difference is like the posh range of Sainsbury's own products, isn't it? You can get the basics, Sainsbury's basics, or if you want to go a bit more upmarket, then you get yourself some Taste the Difference strawberries. And yeah, I didn't regret it.
Could you taste the difference?
I could actually. They were good. They were really good. We got that and some Prosecco and watched the women's final on the Saturday. Me and my friend Rob, who is actually my sister's ex-boyfriend, weirdly. Still hang around with him. Why not?
Are you the unflushable or is he?
Neither of us will be flushed, but if one of us had to be the floater, then probably him. Nah, I don't know. I love him. So, you can't ditch people, even if my sister did dump him.
Oh, God.
No, it was mutual. Actually.
We can remove that part potentially, maybe, if you want.
No, it's all right. You can. I like the unflushable. It's good language, and floater as well. But yes, we did that. We watched the women's final. Really good. I felt sorry for the Tunisian woman who was in the final because she didn't really put up the fight that she would have wanted. Like, she didn't play as well as she had been in the build up to it.
Yeah.
So that was sad to see. She was a bit teary during her speech. It's sad.
Oh, does the runner-up get talk time on the mic?
Yeah, they have an interview before the winner lifts the cup. They get a plate. They get a runner-up plate. Actually,
Yes.
the women, I realised I didn't know before, but women, they don't get a cup. They get a plate too. So they get a big kind of silver plate thing. And the runner-up got something similar, I think.
Oh, okay. So the men get a trophy and the women get a plate?
I believe so, yeah. But
Right.
you'll be glad to hear, you probably already know, they both get paid the same amount.
Oh, I didn't know that. I think that's very new. Isn't that in the last couple of years?
I think it's the last couple of years. I felt sorry for the lovely Tunisian lady who came second, but then I looked up how much she was going to win, and it turns out she was going to get about 1.3 million for coming second.
Wow. Gosh.
I remember when I was a kid, they were getting about 300,000, and back then that sounded like a ridiculous sum of money, but now you get over $1 million for coming second. Isn't that amazing?
That is crazy. But to be fair, we're all watching their match, right? So she's provided the entertainment. It's not like the winner was the only one playing.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. She played a necessary part in the occasion.
It would be a pretty boring final if the runner-up wasn't there.
Yeah, it would be pretty bad. Yeah. It'd be a pretty bad sport, in fact.
They wouldn't sell many tickets. I'd say, fair enough. If you've made it to the final round, get $1 million.
Yeah. The winner takes home something like 2.3 million. Hefty sums of money.
Yes.
Very big sums of money.
And again, I mean, I know the Olympics isn't about money, but thinking about how that's every 4 years, Wimbledon is every year, isn't it? So you could be Djokovic, for example, he could have won a lot of money every year.
Oh, yeah.
A rich tennis player.
Oh, incredibly rich. But yeah, they have these Grand Slams throughout the year, don't they?
Yeah.
And Djokovic is someone who wins Grand Slams all the time, like they're going out of fashion. He's going to be mega rich. And I don't even know if Wimbledon's the highest paying Grand Slam. I don't know. I can see you're getting on Google. Guessing Charlie will be announcing that imminently. Yeah, so that was my... but after that, just while you're looking that up, I'll let you know what else I did that day. After the tennis, me and Rob went down to the local brewery where I took you, actually, Brew Point. Don't know if you remember that.
Yes, I do. That's where I started to enjoy stouts for the first time.
Yes.
And it unofficially cured my tennis elbow in my wrist.
Really?
Yeah, I had a tendonitis in my wrist.
Right.
And it was from playing tennis. And the physio said, it's tennis elbow, but it's in your wrist.
Oh, right.
I think he was simplifying the injury for a layman like me to understand what's going on. Yeah, I had tendonitis.
Okay.
And then you gave me stout. I had like 3 or 4 pints of this drink throughout the weekend, and it went away. And somebody said it's probably the iron in the drink.
That's amazing.
I mean, this is totally hearsay. Do not take this as a recommendation, but it worked for me on that weekend. Wow. And then after a while, I stopped having stouts, and it came back again.
Wow. I mean, iron is so important for your body, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
my dad had an iron deficiency, and he started taking iron tablets, and it's like, he's been so much better since then. So it wouldn't surprise me if seems to be a very necessary kind of thing that we need.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm so glad that helped you. You drank your way back to recovery.
Exactly. I just found out that potentially the US Open, I don't believe this. This seems too much. Apparently $60 million for the winner. Oh no, sorry. This is the total purse. So that would be everyone, right?
Yeah. Shared among all.
Okay. 2.6 million taken home by the winners.
Very similar.
Yeah, that was USD. So you watched the Wimbledon. You watched it so much so that you had it coming out of your ears, you could say. You bloody loved it.
I loved
soaked it all up.
Yeah, so we watched the Wimbledon women's final on the Saturday. They went to this beer festival. That was really fun. There was music there, and loads of different beers to try and stuff. That was kind of whole day thing. So I got quite drunk. Had a little dance. Would have been nice to have you there
with anyone.
It's quite funny actually. I saw this girl. I'd been there for like 2 hours probably. I was a little bit. I was tipsy. Let's say I was tipsy. I was in a great mood. The sun was shining. I was having some really nice beer. I was in good company. My sister was also there with her friends. No, I was just drinking like lager, but nice, quite nice. Like
you weren't high off the iron.
I wasn't high off the iron. No, my wrist was killing me actually. And I saw this girl walk in.
Because you were waving at this girl so aggressively.
Exactly. I saw this girl walk in and I was like, I recognize her. And then I realized I had seen her on Hinge, on the dating app that I'm using, but I'd never matched her because I didn't find her that attractive.
Oh, wow.
So I saw her.
In the flesh, was she more attractive? Pardon the interruption, but I want to let you know about an activity I have created for you to access for free on the britishenglishpodcast.com/freebies. It is a creativity exercise that helps you find ways to learn English whilst being in a state of flow. Being in a state of flow happens when we're totally immersed in an activity to the point where we pay no attention to distractions and time itself seems to pass by without any notice. I would say I am in my happy place when I'm in a state of flow because it allows my creativity to flourish. And I want to help you connect your learning experience with feeling this immense level of happiness that is entirely possible when studying. Who'd have thought it? Revising English can open up feelings of pure ecstasy. Don't worry though, I'm not forcing drugs on you, but I am encouraging you to check out this new exercise I have created that will help you reach a state of flow, when learning English. Find the link in the show notes to thebritishenglishpodcast.com/freebies. That is spelt FREEBIES. And then click on the creativity exercise and we can all get high on life together. Back to the episode.
You know what? She actually was. She was slightly more attractive in person.
Okay.
I still would have said no, but I thought, interesting. I thought, this is funny. She hasn't liked me either. I haven't liked her. She hasn't liked me. There's no harm done.
How do you know that she hasn't liked you?
Because on Hinge, it tells you. So otherwise it would come in, so there's no embarrassment. If I was to speak to her, there'd be no grudge or anything. She wouldn't feel hard done by.
It's an equal playing field, I suppose.
Exactly. So I thought, if she walks past me, I'm going to say hello. And she did. And then I couldn't get rid of her for the rest of the day. And she was just, we were on the dance floor. And she actually had quite an attractive friend who I'd have loved to speak to. But her friend was so keen on the idea that me and her, should now. It was a bit embarrassing, really. She's like, you two are so great together. I was like, no.
What? Within the last...
I said, I've seen you on Hinge. And we started chatting. And then, I just couldn't get rid of her for the rest of the day.
I'm impressed that you brought it up because then that's I saw you and I didn't swipe yes, whatever.
Yeah, I know. And we spoke about that. But I was like, well, you didn't say yes to me either. So, it's fine. But I definitely shouldn't have got a number. Because her friend was like, you should exchange numbers. And I was like, I had to. I did it out of politeness, but I shouldn't have done that. I gave her the wrong idea.
Oh,
awful.
Dear. Oh, dear me. You're reminding me of a night out that we went on in Sydney. Probably one of the last, actually. It was saying goodbye to our friend Lana that came and visited us recently in England. So she's single and she was using the apps and I was with her at the time and she showed us this one guy and he had nothing on but a Speedo and it was like a tiger print and he had very clearly photoshopped his genitalia to be comically large. He was totally in good shape, full body shot as well and very, very big afro kind of hair. I was amazed by that photo. Sorry, I just thought, are we allowed to say afro now?
An afro? Yeah.
That's not banned now?
Definitely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. An afro. It's just a haircut or a hairstyle.
Hairstyle, yeah. He was Caucasian. So then on that night out, he was there. Lana was like, oh my God, that's the guy that you saw on Tinder. And she had screenshotted that photo. So I said, get me that screenshot. And I went up to him. I was quite drunk, so I was quite confident. I said, is this you? And he looked at it and he was so embarrassed.
Oh, no. Did you ask him about his comically large groin area?
Yeah, I said, is that photoshopped? And then I can't actually remember if he said no or he tried to like play it off. Somehow it kind of made me recoil thinking, oh my God, I've just gone up to this guy to say, is your cock really this big?
That's awful. Did he think that you had come across him on a dating app? Or did you say, I'm talking on behalf of my friend over there?
That's a good question. I think I pointed at Lana on the other side of the room and she was looking at us. So I think he understood.
Was he must have been quite flattered that, or embarrassed that she'd actually like taken the time to screenshot this and send it around. Like, I'd love to know.
Yeah, but it was that ridiculous.
Oh my
God.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. Have you got a picture of that? I'd like you to send it to me.
Yeah, I will.
Or do I need? I don't know. Do I need that on my phone? I don't know.
Just to see that as a reference to compare with your Tinder.
Yeah, to compare with me in general. Yeah. Some of my latest photos. Oh God.
That's catching up.
I wanted to ask you, did you watch any of the tennis? Because Sunday was an amazing match, the men's final.
Yeah, I've missed absolutely everything. I was quite sad that I did this because last year I watched it and I loved it. I was really into it. It's so fun. But this year we had guests coming over, or Stacey's parents and then Lana, and they actually went to see Djokovic play in centre court.
Wow.
Quite an event for them. But yeah, we didn't actually see it.
Who did?
Sue and Paul. Yeah.
So they were there for the women's as well, weren't they?
They were there for the Tuesday. It was
okay, so they didn't see
one.
the final, but they saw like the semi-finals or something.
Yeah, I think it was quarters probably. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Did they have a good time?
They did. They had a really nice time. Yeah. I was very, very happy to hear how successful their day was because they went last year and they were quite upset by a very small thing, but they were queuing for ages for just like a drink stand. Paul was looking at the attendee or the waiter, bar staff, sure. And she was just flirting with her colleague, not really paying attention to him. And she was breathing into his cup, like, to try and clean it, supposedly. And she breathed. This was just after COVID, kind of. And then she goes to pour it in. He's like, excuse me, do you mind getting a fresh glass? I don't fancy queuing up for an hour and getting that cup for my drink, please.
Oh, that is unbelievable.
So yeah,
that is so bad. I think I remember you mentioning that to me before. That is horrendous, isn't it? Yeah. Isn't that disgusting?
It is disgusting.
Oh, well, I'm glad they had a nice time.
So yeah, that was that. But let's get back to the main topic. Let's see if I can throw a couple of warm-up questions your way.
Warm me up. I'll warm my wrists up.
You said this earlier, so let's just check if you know the brand. Which company reassures you that their product does exactly what it says on the tin?
Ronseal.
Very good. I think I would have just got that, but it's not an everyday brand, is it?
No, it's not. The reason I know that is I looked it up. I think I was teaching that phrase to a student and I had it in my head that it was No More Nails. I convinced myself that it was another product. Yeah. Would you have gone for that one as well?
Potentially. Yeah, that's a similar brand. I mean, industry.
Because No More Nails, that does exactly what it says on the tin. Whereas Ronseal, it seals Rons? I don't get it. No More Nails. Yeah, okay. A product that means I don't need nails anymore. Perfect. But it does exactly what it says on the tin. So yeah, Ronseal is a product that it seals things. Is it like a silicone kind of sealant or something?
It does a lot of outdoor painting kind of substances like wood stain, varnishing. You put it on your fence and that kind of thing, or your decking.
Okay, yeah, nice. Ronseal does exactly what it says on the tin. It seals the paint job. It makes it weather resistant, I guess. does exactly what it says on the tin. This is their slogan. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It's definitely become a phrase that we use, isn't it? If you want to say that something does exactly what you expect it to, you say, does exactly what it says on the tin.
Absolutely. I think, you could use this in lots of situations. I mean, the media has used it. Got one here. For example, a film critic might write, the action movie is like Ron Seal. It does exactly what it says on the tin. I would remove Ron Seal from that. I wouldn't say Ron Seal.
No, we don't need Ron Seal in there.
I'd say, the action film, it kind of does exactly what it says on the tin. Kind of, you get what you sign up for, kind of thing. It's an action film.
Yeah.
Or in a tech forum discussing software, a user might say, the app does exactly what it says on the tin, apparently.
Duolingo does exactly what it says on the tin.
Very good. Yes, 2 languages.
Not sponsored by Duolingo, or is it?
No. In daily speech, the phrase is often used to describe anything that is simple and straightforward. For example, someone might use it to describe a simple cooking recipe. It does exactly what it says on the tin.
Okay, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what about anisole? It does exactly what it says on the tin.
What's anisole?
It's a cream for your anus, for your anus. If you have piles or an itchy bum, if you suffer with chronic itchy bum, then you pop down your local pharmacy and get anisole.
Right. And that's something that
does exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah, that's something that the pharmacy staff said to you when they gave it to you?
Well, it would be I wouldn't flinch or be surprised if they did say that. I'd be like, yeah, I like that. I'd be like, what's anisole? They'd be like, does exactly what it says on the tin. Now go home, whack that up your bum, and you'll be fine.
What do you think of this one? A politician might use it to describe a policy that has a clear and straightforward outcome. Similarly, a businessman or business person, might use it to describe a product or service that delivers exactly what it promises.
Yeah, the British English podcast does exactly what it says on the tin.
Thank you, at last. I've been waiting for it. There we go. Hopefully, from those various examples, you can understand how it comes up in conversation. And if you hear that phrase, you won't be completely confused by it. And you might even, you can't really say anything back to it, can you? Ron Seal!
I bloody love Ron Seal. No, you wouldn't need to. Well, you just respond accordingly.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
So let's move on to another one.
I love reading, by the way, I'm just thinking about that, these abrupt endings to things. It always cracks me up when we're doing the academy classes. And the students are so good at coming up with like dialogues. It'd be quite challenging, but I'm always amazed by their creativity because they come up with really good dialogues. But then they always end really abruptly. It's like, bye. It's like they're having a conversation using all this like vocabulary that you've taught them in the episode. And then they just say, bye. It's just like, it's really funny, like, end to the dialogues. It always cracks me up.
Yeah, well, I think they're aware of not hogging all the time, so they want to have succinct dialogues. So if it doesn't use the language, end it.
Yeah, no, they're so good though, so like creative with it. I'm amazed.
They really
by
are.
It. It's really good.
Yeah, cracks me up every time. I'm gonna test you with this one. Okay, I'm going to remove the phrase and see how you do.
Okay.
If you've had a rough day and someone tells you this phrase, what are you suggesting you should do? A, go for a jog, take a nap, eat a chocolate bar, or start a new job?
I'm going to forget those options, but go on.
Oh, okay. Those 4 options. Go for a jog, take a nap, eat a chocolate bar, or start a new job.
Okay.
So if you've had a rough day and someone says this famous quote...
Oh, are you going to say the quote?
No, I think it's too easy otherwise. And I've said...
If you've had a rough day...
Yeah. You'd say this quote and then you'd...
Have a Kit Kat. Have a break.
Yes.
Have a Kit Kat.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
Ah, yeah.
Very good.
And in the advert, they would snap the Kit Kat, wouldn't they? Because the Kit Kat comes in fingers. If you're lucky enough to get a 4-finger Kit Kat, then that's the break.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lovely advert. It's lovely sound.
It is.
Lovely message.
Yeah, it's a great ad because it really makes me want one. Hearing that click or snap. Oh, give me a Kit Kat now.
I love Kit Kats. What's your favourite form of Kit Kat?
Come again?
Chunky, 4-finger, 2-finger, or just sad little Single finger Kit Kat multi-pack.
Right. Now, I like to have 3 2 fingers all at once.
3 2 fingers. Wow.
Layered on top of each other.
No.
No, joke. I like a 4-finger.
A 4-finger, do you? I knew you did. I've definitely seen you with a 4-finger in your mouth. So my sister used to eat Kit Kats in a very particular way that was very... Well, she still does. She still eats chocolate exactly the same way. She'll get it. If it's got a biscuity centre or a wafer inside, she loves a wafer.
Do we need to censor this?
No, it's okay. It's not going to get too dirty. What she does is she'll bite off the chocolate, all of the chocolate. She'll go around like a mouse.
Oh, like a little squirrel.
Like a squirrel, yeah, nibbling at it, all around it. And then, well, then she'll just eat the middle bit. But isn't that funny? She'll go around and take every little bit of chocolate off individually. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe there's a lot of people that eat like that.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. And I remember doing that with quite a few snacks when I was younger. Jaffa cakes, for example. You'd lick the chocolate off and then you'd have that little layer of orange gel.
Yeah,
and
weird.
You could take it off the bottom base.
Kind of scrape it off with your upper teeth, your top teeth.
And clubs as well. I'd do that with clubs.
Yeah, clubs. What were they? They were kind of had a biscuity bottom, didn't they? And then it's quite thick chocolate in cubes, kind of cube-like.
Not cubes. It's a bar, but they had the word club on the top.
Yes.
And you'd rub the foil into it, and your foil would have the sort of imprint of club.
Oh yeah. Did you ever eat a bit of foil by accident?
No, I didn't, Harry. Did you?
Too ravenous. Yes, I think I have. Yeah. I've definitely made that mistake. Yeah. I can still taste that kind of aluminium. Clubs are amazing, aren't they? And the lettering was quite kind of indented into the chocolate. So it was like, that's maybe why I thought it was in cube form, because the letters are quite big, aren't they?
Yeah, quite 3D.
Font was quite 3D.
It was. So that came from the Kit Kat one. So take a break, have a Kit Kat.
I love that. That's a really good one.
Is it have a break?
Take a break, have a Kit Kat. Because you wouldn't take a Kit Kat. But you could, for English learners, you can say have a break. I'm just going to have a break.
Yes.
But take a break is a good collocation too. Take a break, have a Kit Kat.
Sorry, it's got it here. Have a break, have a Kit Kat.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
We stand corrected. Have a break, have a Kit Kat.
Well, okay, yeah, I guess it's probably better if they repeat the have. Have a break, have a Kit Kat.
Yeah, I just put in take and it came up with have. Yeah. Have a break, have a Kit Kat. Okay, we've said it enough. But can we put it in our other areas? You might sarcastically mention it if someone's stressed.
I think it's something you might say. It's like you use it kind of as a little mini joke, a little quip or something, like, have a break, have a Kit Kat.
Yeah, you'd say it under your breath, that second line, wouldn't you? You'd be like, have a break, have a Kit Kat.
Have a Kit Kat, you cunt. Have a break, have a Kit Kat. But no, it's not, this isn't like, it's a cultural reference. So like, it's good to know it. And people will definitely say this kind of thing, no doubt.
Yeah. And also, if you've got a Kit Kat and you're gifting it to someone, you might say, have a break.
Have a Kit Kat. It's a very clever little phrase because what you're doing is every time someone says, have a break, you're making them think of have a Kit Kat. I don't know if there are people out there that always have a Kit Kat when they have a break, but I bet there's very few British people out there that don't think of Kit Kats when they hear the words have a break. It's very clever.
It is very clever. Yeah. And another very clever advert is a big one. I think it's probably the biggest one of the conversation. Oh, there's another one actually, but I don't know how to lead into it. Let's do this. I'll say this, although this is wrong, but Harry doesn't do stag do's, but if he did, they'd probably be the best stag do's in the world.
Brilliant. Carlsberg. And very clever. Very clever, so that good. One. I love that one.
Because you really do apply it to everywhere. Like, you can put it into any kind of context to suggest that they are probably the best at it.
The advert was always that kind of thing. Like, you'd see, like, I don't know, the most amazing holiday or something. It'd be nothing to do with beer. And then at the end, someone would just crack open a Carling A Carlsberg. God, Carling have ruined it for Carlsberg. They sound so
yeah,
similar.
they're getting free rent in this, aren't they?
Carling don't do teletext holidays, but if they did. Carlsberg, they don't do holidays, but if they did, they'd probably be the best holidays in the world. It's also one of the longest slogans I've ever heard. It's quite a long one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, isn't it? You just said a funny joke about teletext holidays. Can you explain why you said that?
We will leave it there for part 1 of today's episode. Thank you very much for listening up to this point. If you did want to listen to part 2 and part 3 of this conversation, then you can head over to the BritishEnglishPodcast.com and check out the Premium Podcast or Academy memberships. The Premium Podcast gives you access to the full conversation along with extended glossaries, transcripts, and flashcards, whereas the Academy gives you all of that plus exclusive videos and audios for the season-based episodes, explaining the vocabulary, exampling them, giving you quizzes, writing assignments, and weekly speaking classes on Zoom. But if you were just here for part 1 of this conversation, then I thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the show. Do grab that free worksheet by clicking the link in the show notes. My name's Charlie, and I will see you next week on the British English Podcast. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Before you go, make sure you know where you stand in your English learning journey. I've created a free English level test that you can take right now to find out your exact level. It's quick, easy, and gives you instant results. Head to thebritishenglishpodcast.com/testme or check the link in the show notes. Because tracking your progress helps you stay on track. We can't use track twice, guys. No, let's do that again. Yep, we don't have time. Oh. All right, we'll just delete this last sentence then.